if you are looking at homes, whether it's renting, buying to live in, or investing, watch out for fleas. Agent tip, learn from me. I have said I was going to record this video so many times. The reason why I want to record it is because you will not be warned or hear about this in any real estate course. You will only hear about this if you run into an agent that has experienced this. You're going to be shocked when I share this with you. The tip that I want to bring to you today is watch out for fleas when you are showing property, especially vacant property that you walk in and it's been a little bit trashed or it has a strong odor. Kind of look out for these clues because it has happened to me on 2 occasions. The first time was the absolute worst. I had a client. My clients were owners that were going to move. At the time, they were underwater and they could not sell. So they were bringing in a tenant, renting out their house, and they moved on to their other location. We got a lot of applications for several people. And when they decided on this one applicant, we sat down with them. They wanted to just talk to them, you know, and meet. So we did that. When I tell you, these people just seemed like the most up and up. They were going to be the great tenants. And everything was good for about 3 months. After 3 months, they notified us that they were going to be leaving and had to break the lease. That was a whole ordeal in itself. So the tenants left the house. The owners now are not living near, and they asked me to go over to the house. Somehow I got the key. I went to the house, went in the house the first time. And I just remember there being a strong odor. Nothing really stuck out to me because they did have, I want to say, 2 dogs. Nothing else stuck out to me. The house did need some more cleaning before we could rent it. Fine and dandy, went on my way. The next time I went over there, it's so ironic. I went over that day and I was meeting the homeowner. Met the homeowner, and for something happened and my car would not work. So the homeowner said, I'll just drop you home. At the time I had my first daughter. She was younger. She was in daycare and I needed to pick her up before, but the homeowner and I were on really good terms. She was a sweet lady. I'm still in contact with her to this day. She was such a blessing to me that day that she took me, picked up my daughter, then came home with me. And because we had a relationship, she wanted to come in and meet my newborn. So we went, she came inside, went upstairs in my newborn's room. We visited for a little bit and then she left. Went to the house the 3rd time. And that is when I realized, gosh, when I think about this, the 3rd time I went to the house, I actually showed the house to some people that were interested. So they brought their family and we're in the house. It's been a while, guys, so bear with me on this story. However the case, by the time I realized that there were fleas, I had already had some clients in the house. So I now had to call and notify them that there's a possibility that they took these fleas back to their house. Y'all, I took fleas back to my house. Remember when the owner dropped me home and we went and visited and she saw my newborn, there are fleas now all through my house. And we did not realize, again, I said we're not pet people, we don't have pets. So it's not something that, you know, we would know about. We may have just thought, man, we might be a little itchy or something might be, but we never clued it into there. When we realized that we have fleas, the money that I had to spend, my husband and I had to spend, not to mention he is just furious. And not with me, it's nothing intentional, but just what we had to treat for fleas. We ended up having to go stay in a hotel. Like it was bad. So the cost associated with that and then the ordeal, now the homeowner now has to treat for the fleas. Then the people that I brought to the house now have fleas back at their house. So now they're annoyed that now they have to pay to get fleas out of their house. When I tell you, it was awful. So that's why I am warning you. Keep a spare set of clothes in your car. Be mindful of it when you're walking in. It's great if you have on light colored clothes because you can see them on your clothes and on your shoes. So that is my tip to you. The second time it happened, I'm gonna take some blame in this because I was showing a property and there was another property there and it had a lockbox on it. And I called the agent, they didn't answer. I looked in, it was vacant. The client was like, well, can we see that? Okay, it's vacant. Let's go in and look. Well, there was a reason why the property was not ready to be shown, I'm sure. The agent knew about it. I don't know, maybe that's why there wasn't a sign in the yard. They were probably getting it ready, but we went inside, looked, we did. And I think we noticed the smell in there and it just looked like it needed to be clean. And we got out to the car and I looked down and I saw it on my shoes. So we just started stomping, getting it off. When I got home, I took off my clothes in the garage, wrapped it up. Before I got home, I stopped at the store and got Flea spray and sprayed our car. She did the same. So yeah, it did happen twice. But let that be a lesson to you. If you are looking at homes, you're out there looking for homes, whether it's renting, buying to live in, or investing, keep that in mind. If you notice an odor, it just doesn't look clean, be mindful, look down. What I ended up finding out about that property is that these tenants that were there for 3 months had pets that had fleas, and I think it's utterly disgusting that they live like this with these fleas on them. Yes, I'm judging, and you may know differently. Maybe they didn't know they had fleas. I just don't know how that could be. But what the pest person told me is that when these tenants left and took their animals, the fleas no longer had any place to live. They couldn't jump back on the animals, so they had just been in that house just a festering and upset that they didn't have any food to eat. So now here comes Agent Natasha walking in there and they are jumping on me and attacking me because they're like, A, I want to eat on your skin, and 2, I want to find a new home. So when I think about it, it just kind of gets me upset all over again. The other takeaway from this is, mind you, I said we met with these tenants. They were up and up. When it comes to renting out property, it's a risk. You can do your due diligence, your checking, your background checks, do a whole lot of praying, because you just never know. These people look like they were going to take great care of the home and they ended up being scumbags. Yeah, I said it. This was a really odd situation. I know it was a weird story, but it happened. The adventures in real estate, the things that I have seen and experienced. Man, I can write a book. I'm sure every agent could probably write a book. But I hope you got something from that. Have a great day.